Okay. Hello. You may recognize me. Oh, Jesus Christ. You may recognize me from the Pretty Good podcast. My name is Samson Large. I'm the co-host of said Pretty Good podcast. Welcome to the study, I guess this would be. Is this a study? I think it's a study or an office. It's just an office. Let's call it an office or a study. I like study. I think that's an old-timey thing. This house, where we're staying here in Waynesboro, Georgia, called the Wilkins Fulcher House at 207 East 8th Street, Waynesboro, Georgia. I feel like I shouldn't have said the address. Whatever. It was built in 1895, which is 3 years before my alma mater, the University of Idaho, became a university. I am currently in the office area at the front of the home, which is one of the most old-timey rooms in the house. And I figured I'd film a little solo cast in here and just kind of talk about my time in Atlanta. It's very echoey in here. This is my first noticeable thing, but other than that, pretty chill. It's kind of cold behind me, but I do have AC blowing on me from 3 different directions, so that's probably why. Definitely not ghosts. Definitely not ghosts of any kind. If there are any ghosts, I set my microphone over there next to the couch. Ghosts, feel free to pick up the microphone and have a chat. That would be nice, honestly. Maybe I'm trying to see the interesting. I was trying to see I can see the feedback from each microphone, the bar that goes up and down, and I'm trying to see if there's more coming from that one. Ghost, speak. Oh. That was a spike. Maybe he said hi. So here in Waynesboro, Georgia, in Burke County, it's known as the bird dog capital of the world. But before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about the history of Boise, because I'm from Boise, Idaho. I guess I'm technically from McCall, but Boise, Idaho is where I live now. And Boise has not as a lengthy of history as Waynesboro, but definitely a history still, right? Like, there's still historical things there. Like in Boise, the oldest commercial building or structure is the Peralt Building, which dates from 1879, which is actually before this was built, but still after the invention of the telephone in 1876. And then the Cyrus Jacobs House is the longest standing continuous used residence in Boise. It was built in 1864, so older than this place. Impressive. Didn't know that, actually, so that's kind of cool. I kind of just assumed everything in Boise was younger than this place. As you can see, I'm eating a very 1800s meal. I've got my beer and my steak and my potatoes. Yum. God, it's cold in this room. Anyways, let's talk about it. Waynesboro is known as the bird dog capital of the world. And I'm like, why, right? Here's why. This is where the Georgia field trials began and are still held place. You're probably asking yourself, what are the Georgia field trials? And you'd be correct in asking yourself that, because that's a weird thing to know about, right? Unless maybe you're from Georgia and do field trials. And then you're like, I know what the field trials are. But if you don't, you're probably like, what are field trials? Let me tell you, because I didn't know, and I just looked it up. I gotta get there. Okay. Starting in 1903, enthusiasts have flocked to Burke County with their best pointers and setters to participate in competitions hosted throughout the county. Back in the early decades, the state's elites such as Ty Cobb, Bobby Jones, and Coca-Cola magnate Robert W. Woodruff would travel to Burke for the event. Field trials are a competition where the dogs are judged based on qualities such as their desire to hunt, intelligence, ability to find game, style, nice, and courage, hell yeah. They cover a lot of open ground in a short time, so it's difficult to be a spectator unless you're on horseback, which I saw some of that. Not dogs, but horseback. Because, yeah. Today, a steady stream of owners and trainers head to Burke County each January to compete in the Derby, Shooting Dog, and Championships that run not like shooting dogs. It's like a shooting dog championship. It's a championship for shooting dog, not like shooting dog. You're not shooting dogs. You're bringing your dogs that like to be shot around, not like. It's dogs that hunt. It's a hunting dog competition, right? And they're here throughout the month of January. The trials include the largest open shooting dog. See, that sounds bad, dude. You can't just say the largest shooting dog competition in the world and not, like, assume that you're shooting dogs, dude. Like, there's no, like, really? Like, they're just the shooting, like, what do they call it? I've never heard shooting dog as a term before. And that's all over the Burke County website. Oh, yeah, this is where the shooting dog championships are. It sounds like you're shooting dogs, man. Fucking fix your goddamn language, brother. God, I feel like I shouldn't curse in this home. Huh. Oh, well. And that's straight from the Burke County Chamber of Commerce. Pretty cool stuff. Let's talk about Waynesboro a little bit. Waynesboro is the county seat of Burke County, Georgia. Population 5,472 at the 2024 census. Part of the Augusta metropolitan area. I would say it's a little far off to be part of the metro of Augusta, but you know it's an hour-ish drive. It is one of the original 8 counties in Georgia, and the city of Waynesboro was named after General Anthony Wayne, whose daring efforts during the Revolutionary War earned him the nickname Mad Anthony Wayne. Mad Tony Wayne, baby. We got Mad Tony Wayne up in here. Pretty shit. Although European Americans lived in the area before the Revolutionary War, the town wasn't laid out until 1783. The city was officially incorporated in 1883, so 100 years later. And initially it was Waynesboro spelled correctly, Boroughh. And then they changed it to Waynesboro spelled incorrectly, Boro, sometime after that. I don't know when. Apparently developed as the trading government center of the county, and still at the site of the center courthouse and jail. Apparently President George Washington spent the night here on May 17th, 1791, and a stone monument on Liberty Street marks the historical site. That's crazy. Stands in front of the Golden Pantry, which is formerly a Quick Stop. Pretty cool. George Washington stayed at a Quick Stop. Didn't even know they had those back then. And then on December 4th, 1864, the Civil War Battle of Waynesboro was fought just south of town. Forces under Union General Judson Kilpatrick prevented troops led by Confederate General, bad guy, Joseph Wheeler from interfering with Union General William T. Sherman's campaign to destroy a wide swath of the South on his march. I don't know if destroy a wide swath of the South is the right word there. I think it means like stop the Confederates from like moving on and keeping slaves. Maybe. Or states' rights, I am in a house that was probably built by a Confederate, so I'm gonna tread lightly around that one, probably. Anyways, yeah. We'll just leave that one alone. All right. Yeah, I get it, man. Okay, it was states' rights. Jesus. Someone's tapping on the window behind me. In 1850, this place had a population of 196, and then by 1880, it was already up to 1,000. That's crazy, dude. That honestly is insane. That's a huge increase. And then by 1890, just 10 years later, 1,700 people. And then in 1900, 2,000 people. So the people who built this place probably came in here in between those two. Pretty cool. Burke County Museum traces the area history from plantation life to the establishment of agribusiness. Isn't that the same thing, plantation life and agribusiness? Isn't a plantation still an agribusiness? It's just like a business with less expenses, less labor expenses. Joke. Nice. Moving on from the Wikipedia page to the Georgia Historical Society. Ooh. It looks like there was a General Assembly meeting in 1783 to lay out a town on reserved private land, blah, 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 blah. There was a couple dudes who did it. They were instructed to sell lots on John Thomas's land on the waters of McIntosh Creek, where the Battle of Burke's Jail was fought. By virtue of an act of July 31st, 1783, an indenture was made on June 9th, 1799, between Commissioners Isaac Perry, Alexander Carter, William Wynn, John Whitehead, John Mitchell, Thomas Yarborough, and John Davis to sell lots on the present site, named for General Anthony Wayne. Waynesboro was incorporated December 10th, 1812. Samuel Moore bought the first 1-acre lot bound by Shadrick, Robinson, and Barron Streets. The Munnerlyn House, built by Alexander Carter, was by tradition the oldest house in Waynesboro on May 17, 1791, and in his journal, George Washington wrote that he went 6 miles out of his way to spend the night there, the quick stop mentioned earlier. And President Woodrow Wilson, as a boy, was a visitor to that same famous house on Liberty Street, and in 1910, President William H. Taft also visited Waynesboro before he died in the bathtub. Pretty cool stuff. Ghost, got anything to say about it? Nope, doesn't seem like it. Okay, cool. Tips for finding this marker at the intersection of East 6th and North Liberty. On the right, when traveling west on East 6th and Waynesboro, you can see the thing, I guess. Sick. Let's go to History of Waynesboro on Waynesboro, Georgia website. It pretty much says all the same shit. So pretty much this town is famous for George Washington staying here one night in 1791 and for a bunch of bird dog competitions that happen every January. Other than that, there's not a lot going on. And I can confirm the most poppin' place in this town is the Dollar General. We had our bike race, and our venue is across the street from the Dollar General, and the number of people that I saw going to that Dollar General is absolutely absurd. It is insane how many people are going to this Dollar General, dude. I don't know what they're doing there. There are people filming TikToks in front of the Dollar General. They're out there just in front of the Dollar General. Why, dude? It doesn't make any goddamn sense. In front of the Dollar General? It's a Dollar General. What is so poppin' about the Dollar General? I guess there's no bars in this town, so, like, you go to the Dollar General, you fucking grab a fucking Kool-Aid, or you, like, a fucking bag of chips, and then you, like, meet up with the homies, and then you, like, hit the liquor store, and then go chill in the Dollar General parking lot or something. I don't know. Seems weird. Seems weird. They're really tall desk. I can't tell people in the South were giants back in the day, or they just thought they were going to grow a lot more, because, like, this desk has, like, a good 6 inches of leg room under me. It's up to my fucking titties. The doorways are all 15 feet tall, and every ceiling is 25 feet in the air. So either Southerners are giants back in the day, or they just really, like, too much space, and I think it's the latter. Because I think people used to be smaller and have consistently gotten bigger. If you look at any real historical facts. Yeah, man, other than that, that's pretty much it here. I saw a gator. That was cool. This whole desk is pretty cool. It's got, like, really cool, like, metal wiring on it and stuff. I'm gonna research this house a little bit. Let's look up this house, huh? Alrighty. It's on Airbnb. That's cool. It's a Victorian home. I didn't know that. Locations of Vanishing Georgia. I don't... he was a Confederate major. I was right. The man who built this house was a Confederate. Look at that. Told you, states' rights, brother. That wasn't really why they did the Civil War. Okay. This home is... Okay, this is I guess this is a... Oh, this is cool. Okay, this is called Vanishing Georgia, and it's a blog site. And since 2008, it's photographs by Brian Brown. So thank you, Brian Brown, for the photographs. And Brian Brown says here, he did a lot more research than I did, obviously. He photographed this home a while ago. And he says the home is as difficult to photograph as its architectural style is to define. Very true, Brian. Why is the hair on my leg standing right now? Okay. Is much more eclectic than Victorian, according to Brian. And Brian says it was built for William Archibald Wilkins, who was a Confederate major and happened to be mayor of Waynesboro. Oh, this is the house that hosted President William Taft, dude. Taft fucking was in this house. I'm in the same house as fucking President Taft. President Taft. President Fat Taft. Big fatty Taft. One of my favorite presidents, dude. Fucking bathtub Taft, brother. He visited the city in 1910 and stayed here. It's also known as the Wilkins Hagood House, but it's also called the Wilkins Fulcher House. So I don't know where the Hagood comes from. Oh, and he doesn't talk anymore about it. Come on, Brian Brown. Where's your info, brother? What's that all about? So there's a link here to William Archibald Wilkins. Oh, then there's a picture of him. Wow, that's kind of crazy. Is he sitting in front of this desk in that picture? So Wilkins went to University of Georgia and Harvard. That's pretty sick. In 1861, he settled in Louisville in Jefferson County, which is right down the road from here, and started practicing law. He served during the Civil War, and he was among those established the Bank of Waynesboro and served as its first president, and also the mayor of Waynesboro.